join me as these Australian bushmen tell their story. Well, today I've got it pretty good. Chilling by the campfire, and a good mate of mine, Pete Taylor, is dropping by to have a chat. So you can come and join me. Well, that was good timing, Pete.
Thanks, Jamie. Yeah.
Billy on?
Great to see you. Thank
Yeah,
you very
absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're travelling through today?
Yes, mate. I was just taking a bit of time in the bush, and I thought I'd duck in and say good day. It's been a while since we've seen each other. So.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you called.
Thank
That's
you.
good. It's really good.
Good to see you too.
So, you know, I've never really got to know what your background is. I know you worked for the jetty specialist for a long time, and
Yes.
and then you've created this item that I think is so unique and works an absolute treat. But what's the background?
It's a bit long, but I'll try and keep it short.
Well, we'll just keep it short.
yeah. But I started my life as a jackaroo. I went to the Longreach Pastoral College, and then I went jackarooing for a couple of years on big stations in Queensland and the Riverina, New South Wales. And then I went on to become a livestock salesman auctioneer, would you believe?
Yeah, right. Really?
So I did that for several years, and I moved into marine. I've always had a love of boats, fishing, the beach.
Yeah, right. That's interesting.
So just came from experience, I suppose, and then when we came to develop the product, I'd been a camper, and we'd camped in tents and tarps and so on, and we got blown away a few times in major storms.
Yep.
And I thought there's got to be a better way than tent pegs. And I'd heard about people using screws of different types.
Yeah. And I'd done the same.
Yeah.
I'd done the same.
Yeah.
You know? And then you had to have a bigger washer.
Yes.
And all this sort of stuff, and it just wasn't practical. And it just wasn't practical as well I could see it.
Yeah.
Then I got the ones that had the sort of similar thing, but they were joined.
Yes.
But then that breaks your hand, or you know, if it twists around, it grabs you, and all that sort of stuff, and it just wasn't practical either.
No.
But then yours is, I think that's just so unique and works so well. No, that's why I just want to know a bit more about them. So
I had the idea of looking around campsites and looking around caravan parks, and I thought, well, we needed something that would be independent of the peg, so that when you were putting it in the ground, it wasn't going to spin and you didn't have a chance of injuring yourself. The pegs, we tested all sorts of pegs, and we finally came up with this peg, and the reason being it's got a 7mm shaft and a 10mm diameter thread with a 6mm pitch, so it's got massive holding capacity in the ground. Designed so that the guy rope, once it's attached, it cannot escape. It doesn't matter what weather condition you get. And when you attach your driver, it's going to take the peg in at about a 30-degree angle. So once again, it's got maximum holding capacity in the ground. And once it's in the ground like that, the guy rope can't escape. It doesn't matter what storm or wind or whatever happens around your camp, your guy rope can't let go.
yeah, right. And what about snapping?
Snapping, to date, we've had none snap.
Is that right? So you've got two screws. You've got a big one and a small one. So what's the benefit of having a big and a small?
Jamie, what we found when we were out in the red centre, the ground out there is very, very hard. People think of the desert as sand, but as you know, it's extremely hard country in places. So we came up with that peg because that's about the longest you'll get in the ground out there, and it'll give you the best holding capacity.
Yeah, right.
Where this one, we found we needed a slightly longer peg with the same sort of holding capacity for the sandy, loamy soils. And sometimes when you're out around, let's say, Winton, in the black soil country, you'll quite often need to use a longer peg out there. So we have the coastal peg and the outback peg.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so what's the best for sand though?
For sand, obviously powdered sand right on the beach, this peg's not going to be long enough.
Yeah.
But for your firm sand in behind the dune, in your camping
Yeah.
spots,
Yeah, works a treat.
that one works a treat.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, well that's great. So the other day I got sent up a bag, a new bag for my easy anchors. What's the bag? What's the
Well,
story?
we decided we needed a peg bag that we could offer our clients.
Yes.
And it's got a zip pocket inside it so that you can put your driver or your...
Oh, so you don't lose it.
Yeah, so you can't lose it.
Yep.
So you'll never lose it, hopefully. And you can fit your easy anchors in there comfortably.
Yeah.
You've got it all in the one place.
Gotcha. I haven't taken mine out of the plastic bag that it got sent up in yet.
That's
But yeah, okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I'm glad you popped in today.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie.
So you're just going up the coast today, and that's it.
Yes, I was just going to duck up and see a few people and then back home.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
But it's lovely to be in the bush.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's something where I get to chill out, and all right. Well, I might get this camp oven on, so we can have a bit of a feed,
Sounds good.
and then I'll let you go.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Jamie.